o'clock, and so we will get this meeting started. Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance this evening.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, our first item of business tonight, there's no consent agenda, so we'll consider the minutes of the June 28th, 2022 meeting. And if we've reviewed those, and if there's a motion to approve, we'll take that now.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. Item number 2, consider a request to close the west parking lot of Athletic Park and use of electricity, water, and trash containers for the Health Ministries Clinic Family Fun Day on August 20th, 2022. Denise?
Yes, thank you. The Harvey County, well, the Health Ministries is wanting to have a family fun day for anybody in the community, and they are wanting to close the west parking lot over there in Athletic Park Circle so that they can have food trucks in that area, and then they're going to have games and different kind of things in the band shell area. They'll have picnic tables in that area as well, and are just needing to have that closed, plus the use of picnic tables, water, and also electricity. And staff has looked at this and are okay with this request.
Okay. Thank you.
I move that we would approve that request.
I second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. Item number 3, consider an ordinance for a telecom franchise with MCI Metro. And Chris?
Yeah, I can preview this for you, Mayor. There is a short memo in your agenda packet. This ordinance looks similar to most of the telecom franchise agreements that we do. One point of distinction on this one, this does pertain to already existing facilities in the right-of-way that MCI Metro will be receiving from Verizon. They reached out to the city and asked that a franchise ordinance could be passed. Staff worked back and forth with MCI Metro, and we present this for your consideration. I would stand for any questions on it. I think just pointing that out, the last time I know that we've done one, it's where maybe they're going to build facilities in the right of way. And again, just to distinguish this one where they already exist.
Okay.
Ordinance number.
Sure. 5084-22.
I move we approve ordinance -5084-22. I'll second that.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. Item number 4, Newton Public Library. We're going to receive a USDA grant application for the Newton Public Library private funding consideration. And Suzanne?
Yes, Commissioners. As you know, the public library is in the design and fundraising stages, and the architects that are working with the library board and staff and engineering staff, we've been working on construction drawings, and then the CLC committee is working on the fundraising along with Swanson House, which is a subconsultant of HBM. And one part of that private funding that gets put together with the city funding to be able to fund the entire project are some grants. And one of the grants that's being applied for is a USDA grant, and the application form is shown here, and a couple of the other pieces to it. There's an attorney opinion and different things that we included in the packet for you. The request is for $725,610 worth of technology and building furnishing items. Because the City of Newton owns the building, the City Commission needs to approve the grant application. And remember, this is a part of a $9 million project to reconstruct the library. What we're asking you to do this evening is to approve the grant application and authorize staff to sign and make any small changes we might need to make as Chris continues the legal review of things, and then we will send it off. Okay. Do you have any questions?
I move that we approve the grant application.
I second that.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. Item B is to consider a resolution accepting certain requirements to receive the funding. Any additional comments, Suzanne, or do you have a resolution number for us, Denise?
I do. G-1288.
Anything additional?
No.
Okay. Somebody like to make a motion for resolution G-1288?
I move that we accept G1288.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 5 is annexation for Full Vision. The first one is receive an amended petition from Full Vision requesting annexation into the city limits.
And I'll give you some background on this. Suzanne will jump in. As you recall, at our prior meeting, we saw a very similar action item, receiving a petition from Full Vision for annexation, as well as a resolution. And as you recall, the resolution just kicks it over to the county, asks them to make certain findings. After we accepted the petition and the resolution, it went over to the county. There was some discussion amongst staff about that legal description. I think Suzanne can kind of jump in terms of that amendment.
Yes, the legal description that was provided on the annexation request was kind of a general description that was taken off of the county real estate system, and it required a more detailed legal that comes off of a deed and puts all the pieces together.
Right.
What you see on the screen, there's a large tract on the south, and then there's another one on the north. I think we must have two. There you go.
There you go.
So that's that little square, and then the bigger, odder shaped. Those two properties, along with some road right-of-way on Full Vision Drive. And so we included all of those legal descriptions, and we helped put all that together, and then Full Vision resubmitted their request.
And then our resolution duplicated the revised legal description. Again, this is unplatted property. It's a meets and bounds description. So we would ask that you accept the new petition for the first action item and then the resolution. This will then duplicate the process where it will go to the county. Denise will provide them with a certified copy of the resolution. Their 30 days to act will restart, and we will ask them to make those findings. I understand that the same will occur on July 19th. And one other item on this. Let me just check one quick item. I think it's implicit that the prior resolution would be repealed. I just want to make sure we had that repealer language in there as I'm thinking out loud. I would ask you to allow me to amend to include one provision that states that we rescind and repeal the prior resolution. I don't see that I have that language included. That's my bad.
Okay. First thing, though, is we need to receive the amended petition.
That's right.
And second thing would be to consider the resolution with the amended language.
Thanks.
Okay. Any questions or anything from anybody?
I move we receive the amended petition from Full Vision requesting their annexation into the city limits.
I second that.
Okay. There's a motion, a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Resolution number is G-1289.
I would move that we approve Resolution G-1289 with the added provision to repeal the previous ordinance.
The previous resolution.
Resolution.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion, a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. All right, item number 6 is stuff from the Planning Commission for 901 Sharps Drive. The first item is to receive the recommendations of the Planning Commission. Suzanne?
Yes, both items 6 and 7 are two properties that are located on Sharps Drive that are occupied and owned by CVI Concrete Bolts. I think it's Concrete Bolts, Inc. And they have requested a rezoning from a C2 to an I2. And this was taken to the Planning Commission and it was approved, and now it comes to you, both of the properties. If you have any questions, we'll try to answer, but that's the long and the short of it.
Okay, thank you.
You have ordinance numbers
Yes,
for number 6?
yes, 5085-22.
I would move that we approve ordinance 5085-22 for 901 Sharps Drive.
I'll second that.
Do we need a motion to receive the recommendation first?
No,
Yes, you do.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
I second.
There's a motion and a second to receive the recommendation. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Okay, now the ordinance.
Now the ordinance, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve ordinance 5085-22. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank,
I want to interject one thing.
okay.
Item 7.
I haven't
it's
said
going
thank
from
you, so it's not-
I1 to I2, not where the 6 was going from C2 to I2. They're both going to end up being I2 in
Right.
the end, just to clarify.
Okay.
This actually cleans it up.
Consistency.
Okay. Item 7, do you have anything to offer for the recommendation of the Planning Commission for 1200 Sarps Drive? Suzanne?
No more than what I've already said.
Okay.
I move we receive the Planning Commission's request to amend the zoning on that parcel of ground, 1200 Sharps Drive.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Okay, ordinance number for B.
5086-22.
I move that we approve 5086-22.
I second.
There's a motion and a second for 5086-22. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. Item 8, receive bids and awards contract for the 2022 sewer rehabilitation project. Suzanne?
Yes, on July 7th, we had a bid opening for the sanitary sewer rehab. We had 3 contractors. The low bid was from Bennett, Inc., at $604,181.45. We would recommend that you award bids to the contractor for that amount.
Have we ever done business with this company before?
We have not. But they have done projects similar to this, and so we are hoping for good things.
Did you have any conversation with any of the principals about why they were bidding work here?
We did not, but we did have some references that we've talked with, some of our consultant has talked with.
Take a motion to approve that if
I
somebody
make
would be so
motion
inclined.
to receive and award the bid for the 2022 sewer rehab project to Bennett, Inc.
I'll second.
Okay. There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. I always enjoy looking at the bid tab sheets and seeing where your estimate comes compared to them for each item and how sometimes it's significantly higher and sometimes it's significantly lower. And in the end, how it shakes out, this was 23,000 less, so that's good.
Well, that's where we want to be.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Definitely, is to be higher than the low.
And it seems to be that case on a lot of projects lately, so I just want to just say that, that's good.
Almost always. And when you look at the bids, if they're pretty much in line, then you know that you've laid it out pretty good. But I'm telling you, the bidding climate is oddball right now, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just comment, this is a little unusual in that, you know, they're going to pay motel and per diem to come down here and work.
It is, but remember, this is a sanitary sewer rehab project, and so it's unusual work. It's not something that just every contractor can do. There's some pipe reaming, there's some point repairs, there's some open cuts, there's some lining, there's all kinds of different pieces to this project. And it's all throughout town, and typically our other contractors that have bid on it, like Donlinger, they do all kinds of different work. NOAC does a lot of pipeline work in general. I have a feeling they probably are a little bit more towards this type of work.
Okay. Item number 9 tonight is receive a report from the police and fire chief regarding July 4th activity. Chief Dunleavy and Chief Robertson, although Chief Robertson is missing.
He had to step out for just
Okay.
a minute, so, but really, I'm not sure either one of our agencies have a really lot to offer. During the time frame of the fireworks being sold and discharged, it's about 7 days. And we were, as far as the police department, we received about the same number of calls we normally do. I think it was about 5 calls more than it was last year, but it's pretty, for about 7 days, that's not a lot of calls, which was about 31 calls we responded to, fireworks complaints. But outside of that, we really didn't have any significant cases that resulted as far as that weekend involving fireworks. So I think it was a pretty successful fireworks celebration, so within the city.
Did you have a whole lot of calls for firing off after hours?
No, that would be about all these were all encompassed, about 31 calls.
Yeah.
Spanned the entire 7 days.
Yeah.
So that's not,
Wow.
it's not a lot. So most people were pretty, I mean, we had a few outliers out there that went a little longer, but that's to be expected, and we dealt with those. It's an educational kind of
I
thing.
loved your post where you said, hey, just be a good neighbor.
That's right. So,
Yeah.
I did anecdotally speak with one of the, I guess I would classify it a private stand. They weren't for a nonprofit, but they were for profit for just a family. Then they were saying that for the extra work involved for 7 days, they made a little extra. Well, they said their margin was bigger than last year. Their top line sales were down. And that it was a whole lot of work for maybe not as much extra money as they were hoping. But that's just one comment.
People don't have as much money this year, you know, with
Yeah.
increases in other things, they've had to, you know, look at that a little differently in their spending.
Okay. Any other fireworks comments from anyone?
Thank you, Chief.
Yeah, thank you. And I just noticed on the fire, it's only 4 were considered fireworks-related calls of the 120 calls, so I think that was positive. Okay. Do we need an executive session for anything?
We don't, Mayor. We'll cover-
Okay. I don't know that, Donna, did the citizen sign-up sheet get out? Was there any citizens here that wanted to comment? Mallory here, and you're here, either one of you? Okay, wanted to give you a chance. If you did, we didn't put the sheet out, I don't think. It's okay. We were enjoying supper before this after our 5 o'clock meeting, so wanted to make sure we gave any citizens a chance to speak that wanted to.
Sorry.
All right, we'll go around, and Commissioner Valentine, why don't I start with you?
Well, thank you to our first responders. I always appreciate all that you do. Thank you to the staff for all the work in this budget. I mean, it's just incredible. You can just see all your efforts, timeless, the hours spent, so we appreciate it, and thank you to the rest of the commission for working together on this. So that's my 2 cents.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Kane?
Not at this time.
Okay. Commissioner Stinnett?
Thank you to staff for being responsive to our questions and not taking anything personal.
Yeah, for sure. Commissioner Cry?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Chris?
No, sir.
I would just tell you that we have a PBC meeting scheduled for 7 a.m. on Thursday. And remember, you have approved the last step of the process before it coming to the PBC for us to sell the bonds. And the school district did that here like a week ago. And so then the PBC will approve this on Thursday, and then we'll be able to go out and sell bonds for the ball field and the swimming pool project.
Good.
Donna?
I just want to thank you all for your patience and kindness during this time. We've all worked together, and I think it's worked well. Maybe not the outcome we all wanted, but I think we did a good job. Thank you.
I have a few quick comments. First one, we would have received I responded, I don't know if anybody else has, an email from a citizen that was requesting us to take a second look at our trash can ordinance. And she just pointed out that her neighbors had 2 trash cans and she only had 1, but she was also paying for additional recycling, and she would like for us to consider what it looks like for the same price that everyone pays, that everybody gets 2 trash cans if they request one. I would like for us to take a second look at that. In the end, we may not make any changes, but if we could just take a second look at it and see what that looks like, how many customers could do that. I was also wondering, in relationship to that, do we have an update on how many people have utilized Nicely for services?
I do not have.
Do we know?
We can get you that.
If we could, I think that'd be interesting just to know. There seemed to be a lot of recycling cans left out in front of B&B over the past couple weeks that never got used. So I was wondering how many signed up for those services. That may also tell us then how many more people would get that second trash can if they didn't have it currently. And also just the work on the budget. I think that one of the things I was thinking as we met earlier at 5 o'clock is that we all agree on the mission and we all agree on the outcome. Our ideas to get there may be different, but I like the fact that once we make a decision, and this seems to be in everything that we've done, that we can go forward together. And so I think that's special for us. We don't see that in today's world very often, that 5 people from 5 different walks of life and 5 different backgrounds and 5 different ideas can at the end of the day decide that the mission of the organization is more important than our own camps that we find ourselves in. So I think we have a great team here, and I'm very proud to be a part of it and always reminded of that this time of year. And the third thing, just sort of in relationship to that, just over the 4th of July weekend, I know my son was extra excited to be able to have a couple extra days to shoot fireworks. I live in a neighborhood that seemed to be a fair amount of fireworks being shot. I felt like everyone respected the time. But also, just as I drove around, I saw so many families and friends and neighbors outside with each other. And it was just neat to see so much community happening additionally over that weekend. Very cool thing to see, again, in today's world where it seems there's so much division. For just a weekend, or at least a couple days anyways, people came together and shared community and excitement with one another. I thought Newton has something to be proud of. So I think that's it for this evening. Meeting adjourned.